Hello there, welcome once again to Living on Purpose. This is Fola at Delisi, and today I want to talk about independent and interdependent mindsets. Independent and interdependent mindset. What is the difference between being independent and being interdependent? Now, independent means that you're on your own, you can run things by yourself, you really don't need other people to get things done for you, or you just want to be alone. To be interdependent means that you rely on other people and you get help from some of your friends, some of your neighbors, family friends, colleagues at work, or people that you have some similar interests with. It could also be people in the same religious organizations with you. What exactly is interdependent mindset or an independent mindset? And why should we be talking about them? Sometimes people have an independent mindset and it can be to their own detriment. Some other people also have an interdependent mindset which can be to the extreme where you become a parasite. You need to be able to oscillate smartly and wisely between being independent and being interdependent. As human beings, just as you may have read again in Bible, as I like to refer to, you were not created to be in isolation. There are times when we would need other people. There are times when we would need their companionship. We would need fellowship. At that point in time, you need to be interdependent. You need to be interdependent when it comes to relationship, when it comes to companionship. But you also need to be independent when it comes to your skills and competencies. So if you're not independent when it comes to skills and competencies, it means that you will rely on other people much more than you ought to. So learn the difference between being independent and being interdependent. Both of them are good, but they have their extremes. For example, the extreme part of being independent is somebody saying, I don't need any other person. I can do it by myself. I can succeed on my own. I don't care who you are, or I'm a self-made person. It is arrogance, as I've said to some people, that will make anybody believe and say that they were self-made. You are not self-made. Somebody paved the way for you. Somebody opened the door for you. Somebody created a platform for you. When somebody becomes independent, it becomes difficult for them to work with other people or to live with other people. That's why you would notice that in marriages today, the reason some marriages are breaking is because of people or individuals who are too independent. Now, I'm not saying that people should not have a life of their own, but you see, when you decide to marry someone, there's a level of independence that you will have, and there's also a level of interdependence that will make that marriage work. When you have more of independence and you call it a marriage, there is no way the marriage will not drift apart. The both of you will drift apart. You need each other. You need to be able to share yourself. You need to be able to be vulnerable with each other. But if you're not doing all of that, it means that you are too independent, and after a while you just notice that both of you are drifting apart. Now, friends as well will have to be independent with certain things, but interdependent when it comes to sharing ideas, sharing their information, sharing secrets with one another. So you need to come to terms with one fact. As a human being, there's a part of you that has to be independent, which is your skill set. You need to be independent when it comes to decision making, but you can also become interdependent when it comes to consulting other people, seeking their opinion to be able to make an informed decision. Don't sway too much on the part of being interdependent, because the people will become weary of you. And don't sway too much on the part of independence, because you become cocky, you become arrogant, and you start repelling even the people that you need. Balance. Once you notice that, you should be able to sense or read the room. If people want you, then switch to the side of interdependence. If they don't want you, switch to the side of independence. Know when to go to independence and know when to go to interdependence. If you're constantly asking for too much from other people, then you're switching towards interdependence and people begin to see you as a parasite. You need to have this mindset because that's the way we were wired to work. Sometimes we'll be on our own, at other times we would depend on other people to get help. You will need help if, for example, something happens to your health. You will need help if you're going to start a business. You will need help if, for example, you're fresh out of school and you need to get a job. But you also need to become responsible with your resources so that you are not the one who becomes a burden to every other person. It's so critical today to make sure that you read the people that you're rolling with as well. Know where they expect you to be independent and where their arms are waiting for you so that you can be interdependent on them. That's why I said this is something very important that you need to pay attention to. The issue of independence and interdependence forges strong alliances and it also breaks some hitherto strong marriages and alliances. So where are you today? Are you extremely on the path of independence or extremely on the path of interdependence? You need to watch it and come into the middle. Sway a little to the right for independence and sway a little to the left for interdependence, because that's how you become a balanced person, knowing when to stay off and knowing when to come into the lives of other people. Thank you for listening. Please head on now to youtube.com/Fola Daniel Speaks.